The surtax, which gave rise to great power, which Labor brought in under the Longy government, and the National Party thought it was so pernicious and so wrong, they promised to get rid of it. No ifs, no buts, no maybes. Sound familiar? And when they got in, instead of getting rid of it, they put it up to, at its highest effect, 92 cents in the dollar. That's why those ladies there should be here. Because they probably think, we don't have to go along and hear old Winston or the New Zealand First Party. Things are safe and things are sound. Well, if that's true, how many times have you heard parliamentarians and economists and all sorts of people who are what you might call opinion makers in our society saying that we can't afford super? And there's not a very big step from saying that to saying we're going to change superannuation. We're going to means test it. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And why don't we know that's a fact? Because they've done it over and over and over again. And the National Party got in, you remember, in 2008, said they weren't going to touch super, but the first thing they did was stop making contributions to the Cullen Fund, so that a fund that should be $50 billion today is only $33 billion today. They stopped making contributions, and then in 2014 went one further. It is, after all, your taxes that is going into the Cullen Fund. They went one further. They started taxing the fund. So here's a fund designed to smooth out the cost when the numbers will be greatest of older people in our society as a ratio or percentage. A fund designed to smooth out the costs, and they attack that. And then they hop on television the other night and both said, Labor and National, we're not going to change it. And Bill said, oh, I'm going to change it in 2040. Like he's going to be around in 2040? Very chance, very a prospect of that is bewildering, but anyway, all I want to say is, I thought that I should ask them to come here because there are too many people who take for granted what has been hard fought for. When I say hard fought for, it goes back to 1938. Now, nobody wants to hear history, but my point is, if the history of modern politics is to attack retired people, then around about now, I think people should be paying attention, because you've only got 16 days to go. And when the mistake is made, and they do attack you, guess what comes next? Great power meetings so big you can't get in. I remember them. 2,500 in Auckland Town Hall. Can't get in. Why? Because they got attacked. And they should have known they were going to get attacked. And I'm saying in this campaign, don't take it for granted that what you've got today is safe. Because right now we've got a very minuscule surplus. It's less than 1% of our GDP. One change in the international scene with our markets and a whole lot could be up in the air. And around about then, you know one thing for certain, the first thing they come to when there's a crisis in government money and income, the first people they come to is guess who? Take a wild guess. You. Because that's what they did last time. Asian financial crisis. I know, I was the Deputy Prime Minister and Treasurer. We had secured 66%. Right? Sorry, we had secured the end of the surtax. It's 1996, 97, 98. And a person called Shipley, you know that person very well, don't you? Very well known down the South Island, from Ashburton, decides you're going to renege on the super deal, renege on the coalition agreement, and take your earnings per week or income down to 60% of the net average weekly wage. And the excuse was the Asian financial crisis. Total balderdash. What was National's first excuse for taking super? The BNZ. Going belly up. That's a long time ago, but my point of repeating these historic lessons are that the first time things happen, they'll be coming for you. And a whole lot of people who have taken things for granted did not vote in this election, that'll be the historic lesson, to ensure that their interests were defended. Why are you entitled to get super? Well, I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people in this audience would have left school at 15 years of age. I know some have left school younger than that. I know how many years they worked and they paid some of the highest taxes this country has ever seen. That's why you deserve to have it, because you paid for it.
Absolutely.
More importantly, it's a benefit or a superannuation payment that immediately goes back into our economy, and so its net cost to New Zealand, its net cost to our economy is 3.8% GDP. But every time these people seek to attack you and say that you can't afford it, or they can't afford you, they recite not the New Zealand ratio of affordability. No, they keep on reciting the ratio of affordability in other countries, where, for example, it's 7.5 or 8% of GDP. Ours is not even halfway there. So what they're saying is simply not true. Who's got that phone going?